What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Had to change up my name is now called the Sports Matchup. Oh shit! Let me see. Let me see. Hold on one second. What's going on, Mike? Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, I changed my name now on the Sports Matchup because we be talking more than just boxing. So I had to make it uh more of a universal name because I'm talking football, boxing, basketball, and other sports as well. So I had to change the name. So it's now the Sports Matchup. But what's going on with your team? Oh, shit, you on mute?
I'm talking my ass off of me. I'm talking my ass off of me. What's good, Pimmy? Everything good.
Yeah,
Thank God. I see your new intro.
yeah. I had to change it up because, like I said, I changed my name to Sports Matchup. So I had to add the other sports into it. Uh, only right to add more than just football or more than just boxing. But yeah, I mean, we go get into a recap of what happened last night, Thursday night football with Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Baltimore Ravens. Um, it started off a little slow. I mean, Tampa Bay looked like they was going to run away with the game. Tom Brady was hitting on all cylinders. They was doing a lot of quick screens, and they was actually having some success with the run game with their backup running back White. Um, Leonard Fournette, he did okay in the beginning, but it was like they had more success with White than they did with Leonard Fournette. And then it seemed like Baltimore decided to turn their defense up, and they got that first sack on Tom Brady, and it was like from that point on, it was like they were just running away with it. They sacked Tom Brady, I think, 3 or 4 times. They had a couple of times where they was about to get an interception. They dropped it a couple of times. Um, and Tom Brady and Mike Evans just seemed to not connect. They had a couple of drop passes, couple of misread routes, and Tom you could see Tom Brady was getting frustrated. Um, and then Lamar Jackson, um, he had some success with his backup tight end,
What's good, Tim?
Likely. What's going on, Tim? He had some success with his backup tight end, Likely. They was connecting more than Mark Andrews. I mean, Mark Andrews did go down in the middle of the second quarter. He had a shoulder injury, but they said it's nothing serious. He most likely he'll be back next week. And then also Gus Edwards, he went down. He has a strained right hamstring, but they said it's nothing serious. They're going to see how he do in practice this week, whether he'll be back next week or not. And they also had Bateman go down in the game with a foot injury, but his is nothing serious neither. Now Tampa Bay, they had an injury to Barnett, and he tore I believe it was his ACL or it might be his MCL, and he's done for the season. He's out for the season. So they missing they started linebacker. He's gone for the season. But the Ravens ended up running away with the game. 27. It was 27-13, and then Tampa Bay came back and scored a field goal, and then they scored a last touchdown with like 40 seconds left on the clock, and they tried an onside kick, but the Ravens got the onside kick, so they ended up winning the game. Winning the game 27-22. but overall, it was a decent game compared to all of the other games that we've been seeing on Thursday night football. This was actually a decent game.
Yeah, it was.
Um,
It was the best Thursday night football game for sure.
hmm But what you think is the problem with Tom Brady and Mike Evans? Why they having so many problems in their connection this year?
All right, man. I really can't call it because they didn't start off like that, but it's like it's becoming a thing over the course of the like lately. It's like it's becoming a thing, but they didn't necessarily start off like that. But it has been it gotten rough lately. I can't quite figure out what's wrong with Tampa Bay because they started out like what they was like 3-0, 3-1, something like
Yeah,
that.
they started off. I think they started off 3-1. I think they lost their last two, or they might have lost two out of the last three. I believe they are 3-4 now. I believe they 3-4 now. So oh no, they did they have a bye week yet? They might be 3-5. I'm not sure if they had a bye week yet.
I think they are 3-5.
Yeah, they might be 3-5. So yeah, they started off red hot. They looked like they was gonna be the Tampa Bay from 2 years ago, and then it's like the wheels that fell off.
3-4. They lost the first one, won three in a row, and then they lost. Uh,
I know they lost two back to back. I know that for sure. They
yeah.
lost two back to back.
So
But
that
they
was
lost
3-2.
last week. Yeah, they lost last week, and then they lost again this week.
What's good, MP?
What's going on, MP? But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, they just I mean, it looked like I don't know if Tom Brady off the field issues is getting to him, and him and Mike Evans just not connecting. But I saw a couple of passes where Mike Evans just dropped the ball. It wasn't
Got
nothing that
wide open.
Tom Brady did. Yeah, it wasn't nothing Tom Brady did. It was just Mike Evans just flat out dropped the ball. He had a wide open touchdown pass he had last week that he just flat out dropped, and then he had another first down catch that he should have had for some big yardage that he dropped. It went straight through his hands and hit him in the chest. And then I mean it was a couple of times that Tom Brady threw the ball a little too low. One time I think he threw it right at his receiver's leg. He literally hit him in the ankle with the ball. And then another time the ball was low, but it went right through Mike Evans' hands once again. So I don't know what the issue is, but it could be a combination of the off-field issues that Tom Brady having, as well as they not feeling each other on the field. It's like Tom Brady, you could see during the game he was literally getting on Mike Evans for dropping the passes, and then one play Mike Evans he had turned up the field, and Tom Brady was expecting him to go to a spot, so Tom Brady threw it to the spot, and Mike Evans turned and went up the field, and the ball just hit the ground because wasn't nobody there. It was a wide open play. Mike Evans should have been there, but he decided to go up the field. And Tom Brady got on him after the play because that was a third, and I think it was like a 3rd and 2, and they end up having to punt the ball. They were driving, and then they end up having to punt the ball because Mike Evans did his own route instead of doing the route that Tom Brady had called. So I don't know, but they we had to figure it out soon because Atlanta is looking like they starting to click together. Um, Saints, I don't think they really got to worry about the Saints. Saints, they just a bad team this year. They quarterback play is just horrible, and then Uh, I mean, as far as their receivers and their running back, I mean, we all know they got Michael Thomas. They got Chris Olave, and they got Landry. So they got decent wide receivers, and then of course you know they got Alvin Kamara. So they got good weapons. It's just their quarterback play is just horrible. I thought it would
Yeah,
be better with Andy Dalton, but he doesn't seem like he's any better than what Jameson Winston was. So I don't know, but yeah, they got Tampa Bay got to figure it out because it look like Atlanta is going to try to make a run for the division because Atlanta look like they're starting to click. Because I was not expecting Atlanta to beat the 49ers the way they did.
No, me either. Gotta see if they can put it together like that. So Tampa Bay got Atlanta next. I know not.
Hmm.
I know not Sunday, but
Yeah.
next week.
What's going on, Skywalker? Appreciate you coming through.
That'll be a
Uh,
tell. That'll be a telltale game for Tampa Bay, especially
yeah.
depending on what Atlanta do this. Even if Atlanta lose this week, right? You lose to Atlanta, that's most definitely a bad sign. Most definitely code for fire. Where you see smoke, there's fire. If they lose what, so they just lost their second game in a row. So if they lose their third game in a row to Atlanta, which is a division rival, yeah, then it's all bad. It's crazy. Like the last game more so, I don't feel like it was Tom fault, but like it's like through even like from game one, even when they was winning, right? Not just because they losing. It's like I don't want to say the team was carrying Tom, right? But it kind of looked like this year, right? Like normally on Tom Brady teams, right? He looked like Tom Brady. He go out there, he lead the charge, lead the pack, pretty much put everybody on his back. This year, it's kind of been looking like he like one of the fellas, like one of the guys, for lack of a better word, right? Like
Right. Right.
not like he don't look like super Tom. You know what I mean? He looks like every other quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like the team, it's a team. It's most definitely a team effort this year, right? Everything got to go uh almost perfect for them to get these wins because they ain't scoring a whole lot of points. You know what I mean? They're not
Right.
scoring a whole lot of points, and then right, it's like they are regressing with they with the quarterback wide receiver connections, and maybe they had a lot to do with their injuries. You know what I mean, to the wide receiving core. But Mike and Tom is like outside that one time, right, where they got the miscommunication. And I think on that, it's either Mike Mike Evans just didn't know the route from the jump, or he saw audible, right, and he ran up. You know what I mean? But
Right. Right.
outside of that play, like it's like they could get on in sync. Mike Evans got to hold on to the ball lately, right? He didn't have this. He never had a hands problem, right? He didn't have a hands problem this year. Just like last two games, he just been dropping passes or something. Like I think that's like
Yeah.
a mental thing. So he got a
Yeah.
lot.
I think. Yeah. It's more of concentration than it is actually a physical problem. I just think he's not concentrating on the ball because they literally just going right through his hands. It's not even like nobody swiping at the ball or anything like that. It's just going right through his hands. And we're not used to seeing that from Mike Evans. Mike Evans usually is a sure-handed catcher. So yeah, they definitely gonna have to fix that because it's gonna be a long season if they don't. But yeah, I agree with you. Tom Brady doesn't look like what's going on, Quick. Quick, appreciate you coming through. Tom Brady doesn't look like the Tom Brady we used to seeing. He doesn't even. I ain't gonna say he looked his age. He more so just looked like he's not the leader on the team anymore. Like when he first got to the team, it was like everybody was looking up to Tom Brady and they was doing everything they can do to make sure Tom Brady win. Now it's just more so he's just another one of the teammates. He's not
Yep.
he's not the goat.
Yep.
But yeah, so I mean, like I said, overall, it was definitely what's going on, Thomas. It was definitely one of the better Thursday night football games compared to the rest of the games that we had this
The
year
best,
so far.
the best Thursday night game for sure. Maybe Miami. No, was it Cardinals, Minnesota? Was that Thursday when the Cardinals in Minnesota scored all them fucking points, or was that Monday?
I think that might have been Thursday. That might have been
That
Thursday.
game.
I don't,
If that game was
I
the,
don't,
if that Arizona Minnesota game was that's the best one. But this one was most definitely the best one since week one because that was week one. That shit happened, I think, wasn't it? So
no, the Thursday night game that happened week one was the Rams against
so it
Buffalo. The
was
the season
so it was week
kickoff.
Okay, so this might be the best because now I'm thinking that Vikings and Cardinals game was a Sunday game, was a Sunday like
Uh,
4 p.m. game.
yeah. Thomas said the offense is running the same plays most of the time. Receivers are running same routes, and the offensive line is not good as it usually is.
They
Yeah, I
open,
mean, yeah,
they get, but Thomas, even with it, they getting open. They just it's like they ain't connecting. Like at the point of completion, they ain't connecting with it. You know what I mean?
like I said, it's not everybody. It's really only Mike Evans
Mike
and
Evans
Tom
and
Brady.
Tom, yeah, it's just them two. They can't seem
Yeah,
to. And Mike Evans is getting open every rip. he just ain't
right.
catching the fucking ball. He getting open.
Because Chris Godwin, he had, I think he had a Mike Evans only at the. I think they showed a highlight on the screen. They showed a stat on the screen that Mike Evans only had, up until that last up until
Yeah,
he caught
Thomas.
the last couple of plays. Mike Evans only had like one catch out of all the targets. I think he was targeted like four or five times, and he only had one catch.
Yeah.
So it's not everybody else. It's more so just Mike Evans. He said they need to get Godwin over the middle. Yeah, they do. They were doing a lot of screen plays with Godwin yesterday. They wasn't doing a lot of over the middle. Mike Evans was the
I
one
think they
that they were throwing to
they
over the
may be
middle.
trying to keep him out of imminent danger, right? Like immediate danger over the middle with his health issue.
Right, right. Yeah, I think they're trying to work him back into the fold of the offense because it was a lot of screen plays for Godwin. Everything that was going over the middle was going to Mike Evans and the tight end. But yeah, Godwin was getting a lot of screen plays, or he was doing a wide receiver sweep. But
Yeah. They may be
Mike
trying to
Evans,
keep him away from all them bodies and shit. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Try to keep him outside of the play.
yeah, because they know he. I think this is his second, or I think this is his second game back. Might be his third, but I believe it's his second game back from his injury. So they might be just trying to ease him back into the offense. But yeah, I mean, we got some good games coming up on Sunday. The only one that really worries me is the Arizona versus Minnesota.
Minnesota.
That one right there, that one worries me because I don't know which Minnesota team is going to show up, and I don't know which Arizona team going to show up. If it's the Arizona team that showed up last week and the Minnesota team that showed up a couple of weeks ago when Jefferson went off, it's going to be a hell of a game. It's going to be a hell of a game. But like I said, with those two teams, you never know which team is going to show up. So I have no clue. But yeah, I mean, we got a lot of good games. Dak Prescott is coming. It's his second game back. We want. I mean, he didn't look that that good in his first game back, but it was his first game back. They still got the win. They got a convincing win. I think they won like 24-3 or something like that. It was a blowout. But he didn't look that good throwing the ball. I mean, he did have some good plays, but it wasn't the Dak Prescott that we used to seeing. So I expect him to look a little bit better this week, being though he got a week under his belt from coming back from injury. I expect him to look a little bit better. Um, I want to see what my team is going to do because we got Taylor Heineke. I think it's not going to be that much of pressure on Taylor Heineke because we're going against the Colts. I think we should be able to win that game easy. Um, but I know that Chase Young has been practicing this week with the team, so I'm not sure if he's going to play this week or not. But he has been practicing. I believe they took him off the IR. I believe he's back on the regular roster. I got to look it up, but I believe he's back on the regular roster list. But I'm not sure if he's going to play this week because he's been practicing with the team. So I want to see him back. And again, this is his first game back since the injury from last year. So if he plays this week, this would be his first game back. I want to see how he looks. Um, Tennessee. they got a pretty easy game. The only problem with Tennessee, the only problem that Tennessee have to worry about is Houston's Houston's passing game. But Tennessee doesn't pass the ball like that now that they don't have AJ Brown. They still throw the ball, but they don't throw it as much as they did when they had AJ Brown. So I think they should be able to get past this game fairly easy. Um, the Bills got a easy game. The 49ers and the Rams, that's going to be a good game. The only thing I say is the 49ers, they own the Rams. And like they have the Rams number. I don't care how good the Rams are. For some reason they can't seem to beat the 49ers. And so what's going on, DP? I think the 49ers is going to win that game, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams happen to get that monkey off their back. I just don't see it happening this week because they don't really have no receivers. Like I said, all they got is Cooper Cup, and and then though the 49ers
What's
have
good, DP?
then though 49ers have Bosa back, the 49ers defense is starting to look like the 49er defense we used to seeing from them because it's just I don't know what happened with Atlanta. It was like Atlanta was able to run all over them. They were just running the ball crazy against the 49ers. I'm not used to seeing the 49ers getting the ball ran on them like that.
And it was
He said,
sneakers.
Thomas said, I hope the Rams win. Fuck the 49ers. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know. For some reason, the Rams cannot get past the 49ers. Like the 49ers always seem to have their number. I don't know. I don't care how good the Rams are. The 49ers, for some reason, always seem to have their number. So,
The Rams, the Rams looked average this year.
yeah, this year they look average. The only person that still look like they looked last year is Cooper Cup. Everybody else looked average. Even Aaron Donald, I haven't even been hearing nothing about Aaron Donald this year. It's like Aaron Donald after he won the Super Bowl, it's like he calmed down. I mean, I know he's still out there playing hard every single play, but I haven't been hearing his name. It's like they figured out how to stop him because he hasn't been getting the sacks he was getting the years prior.
Yeah.
That man not be getting the sacks like that. Yeah, I know you hate the Niners, but you also should hate the Rams as well. They all in your division. They all in your division. So it's either one is a win-win for you. I mean, if the Rams win, you happy because the 49ers lost. If the 49ers win, you happy because the Rams lost. So it's a win-win for you either way.
He may hate the Rams more than, 49ers more than the Rams.
Yeah, because the Rams probably have a better chance of winning the division than the 49ers. But yeah, either way, like I mean, that's how I be when Washington, I mean, when Dallas is playing the Eagles or Eagles is playing the Giants or Dallas is playing the Giants, I be the same way. It's a win-win for me, which whoever wins. I
DP,
prefer the team. I prefer the team with the biggest. Yeah, that could be a reason too, DP. But I
you know what I
prefer the
think,
team
DP?
with the best
That
record.
along with Odell Beckham not being there, as much as
Yeah,
people want to ignore the fact, he relieve a lot of he take a lot of pressure off their defense with his presence.
yeah, yeah. Now with Vaughn there, it helped out Aaron Donald. That helped out Aaron Donald, but with
They help out
Odell Beckham there, it helped out Cooper Cup because they
and,
couldn't double him.
and Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford too, because even if they double Cooper Cup, you still had Odell Beckham to go to. You
You
had
can't
somebody
double
that.
nobody because Odell Beckham over the top.
Hmm.
It was
There was a
like
loss from both of those guys. They lost both of those guys this year, and I don't understand why they didn't use Odell Beckham. I understand Von Miller was a big salary cap hit, so you had to let him go,
they
or you
didn't
were
think
going to
that
have
he
to
was too
lose
older.
somebody. But Odell Beckham, you could have signed Odell Beckham to a minimum contract for another year. until you bring these young guys and get them in the fold. But yeah, they definitely need Odell Beckham because it's like Matthew Stafford don't have nobody else to go to.
You know,
Even if he try to go to
he was
somebody
throwing
else,
he was throwing the Odell Beckham when he like because Cup get open, but he be open behind the line. Odell was the
mhm,
dude he used to throw to when he in trouble down the field.
right? Because Odell Beckham can take the top off, and
Hmm.
even if you double team Odell Beckham, a lot of times he can out jump the double team.
You
So it was like it was like a win or lose. You got to pick your poison. Either you're going to double Odell Beckham or you're going to double Cooper Cup. You had to pick your poison. So that hurt them losing both those guys this year. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, but we gonna have some good. I mean, who's Cincinnati? Oh, Cincinnati playing against Cleveland
Browns.
this year. I mean, this week. That one right there was another game that I actually went. I had to go back and look at it and say which team do I feel can win this game, and it
Yeah,
came down to the fact of Cincinnati had the better quarterback play because Cincinnati can run the ball just the same way as Cleveland can run the ball, but
but
Cincinnati they have a better passing game, but they lost Jamal Chase.
I was just finna say that monkey wrench in the game, man. No Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I mean, but they still got Boyd and they still got Higgins. So I mean, even though you lost Jamal Chase, you still have two other wide receivers that you normally go to on a regular basis anyway,
Yeah,
because Jamal Chase was the one that would take the top off, so they had to double team Jamal Chase, and then you had the other two receivers. The only thing is now you don't have to double team Jamal Chase because he's not out there, so that leaves the safety to be able to play a little more freely. So I mean, it could turn around and bite Cincinnati in the ass because Jamal Chase is not out there. Because I mean, Cleveland for the most part, all they really got is Chubbs and Amari Cooper. That's all they really got.
that's all they got.
So
Hunt.
and Cleveland don't have. That was another reason why I picked Cincinnati. Cleveland don't have their tight end. Their tight end is out. So it's really only Jamal Chase, uh, yeah, Kareem Hunt and I mean I said Jamal Chase, Nick Chubbs, Kareem Hunt, and Amari Cooper. So that's all they really have. And for the most part, they don't have Kareem Hunt and Chubbs on the field at the same
Same
time.
thing.
I don't know why they don't. That would be I would have both of them on the field at the same time. I know you want to have one of them resting while the other one is working, but when you have both of them on the field at the same time, you don't the defense don't know who you're gonna go to. And both of them niggas is dangerous. One is gonna run you over, the other one is just gonna outrun you. So I would at times I would have both of them on the field at the same time.
That he might run you over.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt might run you over because he do got a little bit of power. So I don't know why uh Cleveland don't do that.
Yeah, Cincinnati got mixing. Yeah,
He said, "Y'all just made me feel better." Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like I said,
they got weapons
uh,
for sure.
yeah, y'all still got weapons. Y'all
They
got
got
more
weapons for sure.
weapons than Cleveland got because y'all got Mixon, y'all got Boyd, y'all got Higgins, and y'all got y'all tight end. So y'all got more weapons than Cleveland has. And I say the only difference between the defense is Cleveland has a better defensive line. Um, Cincinnati, they have a better secondary. Their secondary is better than Cleveland, but Cleveland's defensive line is better. So it's a matter of is your offensive line gonna be able to keep Cleveland defensive line from getting to your quarterback? Because if your quarterback is on his back most of the time, regardless of who you have out there, he ain't gonna complete no passes from his back.
You know, the Browns got that man playing DP. That's the only thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, but yeah, I went back and forth with that Cleveland Cincinnati game, but then like I said, it came down to the key injuries that's going to be missing in the game, and like I said, Cleveland is missing their tight end, and so all that really leaves them in the passing game is Amari Cooper because
Not,
Peoples I don't really worry about like that. He'll get some catches here and there, but he's not a threat that you got to worry about.
um, we're about to find out how good Joe Burrow really is and how good T. Higgins really is.
Yeah.
Because he's
Uh,
about to lose
is
his
this
safety valve. Chase,
hey, this the first time that Cleveland and Cincinnati is facing each other?
stop it, DP. Stop it. Give up. DP, I'd rather y'all trade us the vacuum cleaner and the microwave. I take that before I take Eli Apple.
Yeah, Eli Apple, he had big hopes, but he didn't he after that first year in New York, he hasn't done nothing since that first year.
Give
Oh
me
yeah,
give me the vacuum cleaner and the washing machine. But keep Eli
ugh,
Apple. Keep Eli Apple.
nah. I wouldn't even take Eli on my team. The corners that we got are better than Eli, and our corners are not all that great. They're decent, but they ain't all that great. But I don't want no Eli Apple. I damn sure don't want no Eli Apple. I take him as a backup. He can come in and step in if somebody gets hurt, but I don't want him as my starter.
He can play special teams.
Yeah. Uh, like I said, it's a whole lot of other corners that's out there that I would take over Eli Apple for sure.
You know,
He
Joe
said,
Burrow.
D3,
Joe Burrow
wow, the
gonna have to.
Ohio State DB's trash. I wouldn't say they trash. I would say their DBs are not that good because I ain't even gonna say they're not that good. They not on the elite level of other DBs in college because of the style of play that they run. They run more of a zone defense. They don't run a man to man. So in order for your DB to become good, they got to be able to hold up man to man. Now they could be good zone DBs, but they got to be able to go to a system that's going to fit their talent. You can't put them in any system. They got to be able to go to a system that's going to fit their talent. But in order for you to have a good DB, he's got to be able to play man to man. If he can't play man to man or he's terrible at man to man, he's not going to be a good DB. That's just the facts. Yeah, Sean Springs, but Sean Springs was a DB that could play man to man. He was a DB that could play man to man. So if you can play man to man, you're going to be a good DB regardless of what system you in. You're going to be a good DB because you can play. You can match up with anybody. If you can play man to man, you can match up with anybody. Now they might get catches on you, but that's pretty much all they're going to get is a catch, and you're going to tackle them right there. But and that's another thing. Ohio State DBs are not good tacklers. That's another reason why they're not that good because you can catch the ball on them and pretty much out juke. You can outrun them or you can juke them. A lot of their DBs not that fast neither. Their DBs they DBs typically run like a 4.5 or 4.6. They're not in the high fours. They're not in the high fours. They run like a 4.5 or 4.6. Most of their DBs. I ain't gonna say all of them, but they have some that are fast. But most of their DBs runs like a 4.5 or 4.6. At least all the ones that came out. He said I didn't like Eli in college. Nah, Eli got like I said, he got a lot of praise because of the system that he ran. The system that they ran, it fit his talent. But the teams that he's been going to don't run that type of system. He's more of a zone DB. He plays the zone. Same way like motherfucker Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman was good in the zone. When he had to play man, his ass was getting burnt. He was getting burnt. He was a good zone DB. He could play a zone and he covered his zone perfectly. But when that nigga had to play man to man, he was getting his ass burnt. I mean, it just is what it is. That's why I say it's not that really it's not that many DBs in the league that can play man to man. You have some, but it's not that many. You could probably name on every team. You could probably come up with a total of maybe seven DBs that can play man. Out of all 32 teams, you got probably seven that can play man. The rest of them are zone DBs. They don't play man that well. What's going on, PGA Big Dog? I mean, it just yeah. He liked playing bump and run, but like I said, he was a zone DB. He wasn't man. He wasn't following the number one receiver around the field. It was like he had this side and this zone area, and that's what he was playing. That's what that's what
Kirk, Kirkpatrick
uh
kept getting hurt. DP, he couldn't stay
uh
healthy. Shit, he said Drake Kirkpatrick. Kirkpatrick kept getting hurt from the Jets.
yeah. He got hurt. He got hurt his first year, if I'm not mistaken. He got hurt his
It's
first year.
quarterback. It's quarterback. PGH corner be second though.
Yeah, the quarterback is the hardest position. Corner, actually, to be honest with you, corner is the easiest position because you either going to play man or you
Safety the
playing
easy.
zone.
Safety the easiest position.
Yeah, you either playing man or you playing zone. So me personally, when I play corner and I play free safety and I play some wide receiver. A lot of times they brought me in to play wide receiver when they wanted me to run a fly because I was fast. So, but I play corner and I play free safety. But a corner position is me to me is the easiest position on the defensive side of the ball because you either playing man or you covering a zone. That's it. You're not doing too much of nothing else.
Now this shit ain't easy though. The concept of it is the concept of it is
No, I mean
easy.
it's
To actually
if
get
you don't
to
have
actually
yeah,
sit
if you
and
don't
break down and do it ain't easy at
yeah
all.
yeah if you don't have the skill
But,
to do it, then not. I mean,
but
regardless
really,
of how you look at it, if you don't have the skill to do it, no position is easy.
yeah,
You got to be skilled to do it.
but I say safety is the easiest position to me to play, and then I think quarterback. I was a quarterback, right? Quarterback is first, and I was a cornerback. Cornerback
Yeah,
second, and I played safety
it,
like it's semi pro. You know what I mean?
well,
Quarter,
I mean, I consider safety a DB as well.
true,
So
but they
yeah,
did like corner and safeties are different. Like they different. You
yeah,
do different
they
things.
different because the corner. I mean, if you playing free safety, now
More,
strong safety is a little more difficult than free safety
more
because strong safety you playing a little bit closer to the line.
the physical aspect of strong safety is more
Yeah,
difficult.
strong safety he playing a
That's
little
what I
bit
play.
closer to the
That's what
line,
I play.
and he's reading the tight end and the running back. He got to read
Yeah,
both of them because if it's a run play, he got to take himself down there and stop that
yeah.
run. If the tight end is coming out,
Free
he's
safety
coming out to catch the
is
tight
the funnest position, Thomas. But if you do it wrong, you can fuck up a whole game at free safety.
end.
It's
See,
fun, but you can fuck
a
up a
lot of
whole game if you bullshitting at free safety. You can fuck up a whole
right
game.
because a lot of time like when you playing free safety and you playing a zone, it's a little more difficult than playing a free safety and they playing a cover two
Yeah.
or they playing a man to man. Now, if you a free safety, they playing man to man, it's easy because all you got to do is just make sure nobody get behind you. You just making sure nobody get
Free
behind
safety easy to play if you got a fire ass strong safety.
you. Yeah, you got to have a strong safety that can be able to cover that middle in between the line. I mean, in between
Cover a lot of
yourself
ground.
and the linebacker.
Cover
That
a lot of
strong
ground.
safety is going to
And he
cover
got to be able to tackle.
between. Yeah, the strong safety is going to cover between the free safety and the middle linebacker. The middle linebacker is covering between the defensive line and himself, and then you got the corners covering their zone on the outside, and then the free safety is standing over top covering everything deep.
Everything. He the nigga sitting there to make interception. Fast courtesy. You know some. You know some courtesy. The the free safety is supposed to be your turnover guy. He supposed to be your guy that make the big plays.
Yeah, That's why Sean Taylor was so good at it because Sean Taylor could cover the whole field and he can hit. So a lot of times he would either come over there and niggas knew that he was about to put a hit on him and they would not catch the ball, so he would get an interception, or they will catch the ball and he would jar that ball loose and either somebody would catch it off the tip ball or it will be an
Thomas, right?
incomplete pass.
Thomas, the free safety is either the last guy or the first guy, depending on how good he is. You get what I'm trying? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Depending
because
on how good he is,
he can
Thomas.
cover that field and get over there right when the ball get there or right before the ball get there.
Yeah, like depending on how good he is, man. That free, he should be there first. Something,
That's
most
why
like half the
if you
time he
if
should be
you
there
if you
first.
look at it, look at the best free safeties in the last 15, 20 years. It was Ed Reed, Sean Taylor,
Troy
Brian Dawkins. Um, what's the nigga name
yeah,
from
in the slot,
Seattle?
the strong in the slot too. Strong.
Yeah, yeah.
At
But
least
the,
I
the
did.
dude,
At least
the
I did.
dude from Seattle, yeah, Earl Thomas. Those were they can cover the field. That's why they were so good because they can cover the field. They didn't
Yeah, I
let
said
nothing get
Troy.
behind them.
Yeah, Troy was
Yeah.
solid.
No, Troy Polamalu was a strong safety. He
Strong
wasn't
say,
a free
yeah,
safety.
I know. Those
No, I'm
my
talking
guys.
about DP. DP put Troy in there. He was a strong safety. He wasn't a free safety. What's going on, Just Do? Appreciate you coming through. Yeah. Ed Reed was a problem. See, Ed Reed wasn't a big hitter.
Cam was
He
a
was the
strong
one that
safety too.
like he liked
CDP.
to go get the ball.
Man, you like the strong safeties, DP. Cam
Yeah,
was strong too.
yeah, yeah. DP like the strong safety. Like you like people like Leyland Collins. Those
Mm-hmm.
are strong safeties. Free safeties are Ed Reed, Sean Taylor, Brian Dawkins, Earl Thomas. Those are
Running lot was a strong
Ronnie,
safety,
yeah, Ronnie Lott was a strong safety.
but he played both.
Uh,
He played some. He played corner too.
yeah, Ronnie Lott was a strong safety. Steve Atwater was a strong safety.
Mm-hmm.
Those were strong
He was
safeties.
my guys.
Usually strong safety was the big hitters in the DB.
Yeah,
They were the ones hit. Just fortunately enough, Brian Dawkins and Earl Thomas and Sean Taylor, them niggas can hit as well
but what I'm
as
saying,
cover
if
the
you a free
field.
safety, you go be first to the ball. If you cold, you go be there first. If you the free safety for real, because you reading, that's the dude that's reading the field. He reading the play. He wherever the ball go, really is where the free safety is supposed to be at.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Sean Taylor and Brian Dawkins, they could play strong safety if they wanted to, but because they were so fast and their vision was so good, they kept them at free safety because they can cover the whole
I
field.
know who was underrated, the underrated player, Antrell
What's
Rowe.
that?
Antrell Rowe.
Yeah,
He played
yeah,
corner.
he was.
He made the Pro Bowl as a corner and as a safety.
Yeah, he was. And another person that well, he wasn't underrated. It just his free safety was underrated, and that was Rod Woodson. Rod Woodson as a free safety, he was underrated because he played free safety later in his career.
For the Raiders. That's the
He was
only
a
Rod
vicious,
Wilson we seen. It was a free safety Rod Wilson. Well, I didn't even see him play corner.
yeah, he was a vicious corner. That's where he got his name from, playing corner. That's where everybody know him from, playing corner. It
Yeah.
wasn't until later in his career he started playing free safety because he was old. So they used him as a free safety. He didn't have to worry about taking the beatings of hitting running backs as much because he got older and they wanted to keep him on the field.
I had a cold ass free safety Thomas dog. My free safety was so motherfucking cold. He used to call me cold. I used to be like, nah, nigga, you cold, bro. That nigga, cold. That nigga was so man. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's the reason why they kept Brian Dawkins and Sean Taylor and as a free safety because of their awareness. They can recognize when it was a bomb or if the pass was coming across the middle. They can recognize it faster than anybody else. They recognize it before the corner recognize because as a free safety, you have the opportunity to watch the quarterback and watch the wide receivers because you're playing so far back. You
yeah.
can watch the quarterback and the wide receiver. A corner, you only you well technically you only supposed to be paying attention to the wide receiver. A lot of times these corners get beat because they're watching the quarterback, and by the time they realize the receiver is not where they thought they was, it's over. They gone. They got beat. So
Yeah.
that's why you see a lot of these corners get beat because they watching the quarterback. And
Yeah.
that was one of the first things I learned playing corner. Never watch the quarterback because you're going to lose track of where you're mad at. Or if you're watching the quarterback, keep your hand. Is as little veteran tricks. You keep your hand close to where that wide receiver is. You looking back at the corner, but you touching that wide receiver the whole time you run. As soon as you don't feel him anymore, you turn back and look to see where that wide receiver is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, but yeah, I mean, like I said, it's 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 a lot of
I used to just play the
good.
breaks. I used to play
It's
the
a
breaks,
lot
and I
of
used to put me in on slot because I was strong safety too, so I never really pressed. I used to just
yeah.
play the breaks. I play out for a couple yards. I know the yard. I know the yard count, nigga. Your yard. You either if you run 10, you're going straight. You either go
See,
run eight before you make. You either go run eight before you make your move. I'm just counting. I'm counting the 7 yards. When I get to 7, I know you finna make a move, so I'm just making a move with you. You know what I mean?
I was able to play defense as well as I did because my first 3 years of playing football, I played fullback. So my whole mission was to read the linebackers and the defensive line to know how to block because my brother played halfback, but I was so big they put me at fullback. So I wanted to play running back, but they because I was so big, I was so much bigger than everybody else, they put me at fullback. And so we never even threw the ball. It was all run plays. It was either going to me or it was going to my brother. My brother would just run behind me. But I was able to read it. And then when I moved from fullback, they put me at middle linebacker. I was like, God damn, I don't want to play no middle linebacker. I want to be able to go get the ball. They were like, Nah, you watch everything. You call the defense. You watch everything. I was like, man. So I played middle linebacker for like 2 years. But I played fullback for 3 years. I played middle linebacker for 2 years, and this was I played from 6 till I was 9 years old, I played fullback, and from 9 till 11, I played middle linebacker, and then I got moved to wide receiver, corner, and free safety. Once they realized how fast I was, they moved me to wide receivers, and then they moved me to wide receiver because of my hands. Because when I played middle linebacker, the first year I played the first two, the only 2 years that I played middle linebacker, I had 15 interceptions. Those 2 years combined, I had 15 interceptions. And they're like, damn, you can catch the ball. I was like, yeah, I know how to catch. I played football since I was 6. So then they moved me to wide receiver, and then they moved me to corner because of my speed. And then they moved me to so yeah. But yeah. You got to keep them on your hip. You keep them on your hip, but you got it. It's more than just keeping them on your hip. You gotta feel them. If you don't feel them, that 9 times out of 10, he's not where you think he is. Because I was famous for that when I played wide receiver. I was famous for having a person right there beside me. As soon as I see him turn his head to look at the quarterback, I'm cutting. I'm cutting. And my quarterback, he used to always say, "Man, you got to let me know when you cutting." I said, "Nah. When you see that corner look back at you, you know I'm going another direction. I'm not going the same direction I've been going because he's looking at you. He's not watching me no more. I need to get away from him."
And Thomas, I wish I was 6'6", bro. I wish I was 6'3", Thomas. No cap.
I wish I
I wish
was. I
actually I
wish
am
I was
about
like.
to. I wish I was
If I
about
was,
6'6", Thomas. No cap.
I can tell you right now. If I was like
Six
six
five.
one, if I was 6'1", I would have had a full scholarship to Notre Dame for playing football, and I probably would have had a full scholarship for playing basketball because I can play point. The only problem I had when I was in high school, I didn't learn how to dunk a basketball until I was a senior. But if I was 6'1", I had hops. I just didn't know how to dunk the basketball. Like I can grab the rim from the time I was a freshman. I was only like 5'7" when I was a freshman in high school. I can grab the rim. I just didn't know how to dunk the fucking ball. I can grab the rim with both hands. I just didn't know how to dunk the ball because my hands were so small. I didn't know how to hold the ball and dunk it. It wasn't until I became a senior that I learned how to dunk a basketball. If I was 6'1", from the time I was a freshman until my senior year, man, I know I would have had it. Daggone full scholarship playing basketball. I averaged 17 points a game playing point, and I was averaging 8 assists. I would have been vicious at 6'1". But yeah, so I'm about to get ready to get up out of here. I just wanted to come in here and recap about Thursday night. I appreciate everybody that came
Yeah.
through. I'm about to go back to my brother T. He's still live. The bets are still open. Y'all want to get on these daggone bets? He got a couple of good bets. He got me, himself, and D Man Jr. on $1 bet. Each one of us will win $500. So y'all get over there. He got the bets lined up. Y'all get over there. If y'all want to make some money, that's where you need to go. But I appreciate everybody coming through. It's your boy, Sports Matchup.
Well, no, I was talking to Josh. Josh, once I realized the proper, like once I learned how to dunk a ball, because at first I used to always fuck up my hands and shit. Like, I used to have blisters. Them just used to be big. I used to have like big ass blisters and shit on my hand
Yeah,
and shit. But once I learned that you got to get over that junk and dunk it down, it was over then. I was like, I was doing it right. I was attacking the rim, like going at it. Once I realized you got to go over that junk and down, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. It was a wrap.
yeah.
The easy,
But
the easy, the higher you jump, the easier it is to dunk. You got to really dunk
yeah,
it down. It's like up and down thing. So,
I'm gonna get my son down to Memphis. He gonna play you a ball.
bet.
He gonna play you a ball. But yeah, I appreciate everybody that came through, man. Make sure y'all go holler at my man T. He's still live. And if any of the other TWT family that go live, check in. Whether you stay in there for a couple of minutes or you coming in for the whole show, go in there, hit the like button, show some love. Those my peoples. We all show love to everybody. But I appreciate y'all coming through. Peace.